Hello and welcome to my next Seoul vlog on midlife choreasis. In every city we visited, there was one place or activity that we looked forward to seeing or experiencing the most. In Jeju, we looked forward most to riding two-wheelers along the coast. And in Busan, it was visiting the memorial of Queen Ho Wang-ok, originally Indian Princess Suriratna. In Seoul, we were looking forward most to visiting Gyeongbokgung Palace, wearing the traditional Korean clothes called hanbok. Now let me give you some important tips on visiting Gyeongbokgung Palace. You must plan your visit to coincide with the change of guard ceremony. This is a magnificent spectacle and you just cannot miss seeing it. It takes place every day at 10 am and 2 pm except on Tuesdays at the palace main gate called Gwanghwamun Gate. Now another very important tip. The entry fee is 3000 Korean won per adult, but if you enter the palace wearing hanbok, the entry is free. Outside the east gate of the palace, if you walk past the parking lot, you come to a large hanbok rental store. It opens at 8 am. If you reach early enough, you can rent hanbok, watch the change of guard ceremony and then enter the palace. We reached just before the change of guard ceremony, so we watched that, then walked to the shop, rented hanbok and returned to the palace. Also on that day, I had dressed in a cotton t-shirt and slim fit track pants. So I could comfortably wear the hanbok over that and that worked really well for me. The rent for the hanbok was 45,000 won per person. They also style your hair for you and the prices are 5,000, 7,000 and 10,000 won depending on how elaborate a hairstyle you choose. If you want shoes or a purse, they are each 5,000 won extra. I chose the simplest hairstyle so my total rent came to 50,000 won. If I remember right, we had 2.5 hours to return it. Now coming back to the palace, it was the main palace of the Joseon dynasty and today is considered to be the most beautiful of the 5 palaces. It is also the largest. It is of course beautifully maintained and you can walk around and admire the architecture. On the way from the hanbok rental store to the palace, there is a pretty grassy lawn where we took many photos. Photo spots inside the palace are endless and you can create timeless memories here. We really enjoyed the experience and it was definitely the highlight of our Seoul visit, just as we had expected. Our next stop was Gwanghwamun Square. This is a public square walking distance away from Gyeongbokgung Palace. It was a 16-lane roadway until in 2009 the Seoul Metropolitan Government converted 10 lanes into a public square. Located here are the statues of King Sejong the Great and Admiral Yi Sun-shin. King Sejong the Great is the beloved 4th king of the Joseon dynasty and creator of the Korean alphabet Hangeul. Admiral Yi Sun-shin was a naval commander noted for his victories against the Japanese Navy during the Japanese invasion of Korea from 1952 to 1958. He is a great hero to the Korean people. The Blue House, which was the official residence of the South Korean president till 2022, is also located a short walk away. Now located under the statue of King Sejong the Great, with its entrance behind the statue, is the Story of King Sejong Museum. It is a free museum and consists of several sections all showcasing his contributions to the history of this nation. I was very interested when I heard about this museum. When I first started watching K-dramas during the lockdown, I started learning Hangeul as a hobby. My interest grew and I read more about the country's history and culture, to the point that I travelled there to explore it. I marvelled at the fact that my fascination with this country actually started with my learning Hangeul, which King Sejong created in the 1440s. Such is the power of knowledge and learning. In the museum, my favourite exhibit is the one where you can choose your birth month and date on a screen, and it describes your personality in Korean. A pictorial representation of this is projected onto a transparent screen, which you can sit behind and photograph yourself with the picture superimposed on you. My description was Malgat Han Nare, in which the first word means lively and bright, and the second means wings, which I take to mean that I have a lively and bright and light-hearted personality. After the museum, we visited bukchonhanokvillage. This is actually a residential neighborhood with many traditional Korean houses called Hanok. The word Bukchon means northern village and thus the name. Now many of these Hanoks have been converted into guest houses, restaurants and tea houses where you can experience traditional Korean culture. As this is a residential neighborhood with people living in the Hanoks, one should be quiet and respectful while walking around and exploring. This is also a popular place to rent hanbok and take pictures against the backdrop of the quaint houses. A short walk away from Bukchon Hanokvillage is the Sool gallery. Along the way, we saw the official guides in their red uniforms. They speak English, Japanese and Chinese. We asked them for directions to the museum and they told us it was just down the road. Now the Sool gallery is a traditional Korean alcohol museum. Here you can learn about the history of Korean alcoholic beverages. They also let you try free samples. There are fixed timings for the English language tutorial. However, you need to book that in advance online, so we just walked around and looked at the varied displays before leaving. If this sounds like something you could be interested in, you can look it up and book a slot. A short bus ride and short walk later, we came to the Cheonggyecheon stream. This beautiful stream appears in many K-dramas, and yes, it is as romantic as it looks on screen. The first thing we did, of course, was climb down the stairs and walk across the iconic stepping stones. It is a great place to walk around and just relax for a while, which is what we did. Now just diagonally opposite the stream is the HIKR ground. This building is a Korean tourism publicity center and a dream come true for fans of K-pop and interactive media. HIKR stands for Hi from Korea. The building is divided in differently themed floors, with the entire second floor being dedicated to K-pop culture. Among the many exhibits here, on the second floor is a stage where you can change the background from a control panel, play music of your choice and make your own music video. We also enjoyed the subway exhibit and other futuristic exhibits. The best part is that it has free entry. On the uppermost floor is a coffee shop and official desk of the building. They encouraged us to come over and try a fun activity. They made us spin a wheel that stopped at the name of a particular popular tourist spot and pick an activity from a list. You can challenge yourself and go to that spot and do that activity as a fun thing. We also learned from that 2023 was officially Visit Korea year. Though it had already been a long day, there was another thing we were determined to do as it was still only early evening, and that was visit Namsan Tower, or Seoul Tower as it is now called, famous for its spectacular views and famous love locks. The bus we took to Namsan Tower was a shuttle bus, and please note that this bus, the Namsan Sunwon Shuttle 01, only accepts T-money cards, no cash. From the stop where the bus drops you off, you walk up a small slope to enter the Namsan Tower building. Entry is free on all levels except the top of the tower where the observatory is. We did not go up to the observatory, but the views from the observation deck were breathtaking too. You can buy love locks from a vending machine from the observation platform or from the gift shop. We took our time taking in the view from different parts of the deck and taking many pictures and videos. By the time we were done, it was quite late and we were quite tired as we had had a really full day. In our entire trip, this was the day we did the maximum things in a single day. So we headed back to the bus stop to take the shuttle bus. I hope you enjoyed all our adventures in this video. If you did, do like and subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I upload my next Seoul vlog. Thanks for watching.